welcome once again. And I would like to ask you if you know any fun facts about phonics as our inclusion activity. Please type that in the chat if you can think of anything.
I can't see the chat.
I'm sorry?
I can't see the chat for whatever reason. I'm sorry.
Uh, it should be there.
Yeah, Melissa, try clicking on the more all the way to the right with the three dots and see if it pops up there. You know what I'm talking about? So at the bottom of your screen, there are all the icons and then
Thank you. I got it.
great, awesome, wonderful.
Does anybody want to share what they wrote? Lorena, did you write something, or Annie, or Janet, or Nairobi? Lorena, go ahead.
Well, it's a sound of, I mean, if I remember correctly, it's a sound of pronunciating like blends, pH, and sound of words, sound of letters.
Yes. Yes, thank you.
The combination of.
Thank you. Thank you for sharing. Anybody else wants to share?
I'll share.
Okay, go ahead. Thank you.
In my classes, like regardless of the ESL level, sometimes I put on the letter sounds and letter names. And like simple things like this is, this is a long vowel, and short vowels, like introduce those patterns because it'll help them when they're like reading or writing or speaking.
Thank you. Thank you so much for sharing. So let's look at what I found. Where did my slide go? Here it is. That phonics and spelling rules explain 98% of English words. I was like, 98%, wow. And then Dave told us, parents in ESL classes love when they learn phonics to help their children. And my students tell me, oh, I've heard my child do that, and now I know why he or she was doing that. Dave, am I missing a slide here?
I don't think so. What are you thinking?
Okay.
Is there something missing there?
I'm trying to see if there's a page. Yeah. Okay, that is missing. I'm sorry. Okay, so why are we doing this when we teach phonics? To create a safe and collaborative learning community. Oh, the objectives, I'm sorry. Identify and address challenges to phonics instruction, identify key phonics skills and rules, and use class text units to contextualize phonics instruction. And these are our objectives for today. And our agenda, we want to talk about reading horizons and do a reality check. We want to start with basics and show you a couple of videos that I have used in my practice. Why teach English with topics, then we'll have breakout rooms. You will be able to use some of the things that we will present to you today. And then we'll talk about what you have learned, and then we'll be done. Any questions? Okay. I'm not sure how many people, I do remember that Annie was at the Reading Horizons workshop we had at East LA, and we want to do a reality check about what we learned there and what we have done. What have you tried for phonics, COP? What works well for you and what doesn't work for you? And I'll start by letting you know that I've tried it. It's a very long process. And what worked for me really well was to use the posters that they provided for us to have the students annotate the sounds. What doesn't work for me is that it's not something that I can use with the current course outlines. It doesn't work because it doesn't have topics and themes. So I just took a little bit of it to help me, but most of the time I just develop my own. Anybody else has any comments? Annie, did you try it? I know you were at the workshop.
Oh, I just tried the dictation part.
How was it?
Yeah, it was good. Yeah. But I think they need they need small work in small groups and all that, more like a lot of practice to get it. It's different from the alphabet, so.
What's
But
different
we
about
tried
the
to
alphabet?
review.
I'm sorry?
The letter name and the sound is different. It's different.
Yeah.
I'm
But
not sure. What do you mean that it's different? What do you mean,
no,
Annie?
like no, I mean the students know the name of the letter, but we have to teach them how to sound out the word.
Yeah.
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 Mhm.
Can I just ask a question? I unfortunately missed the Reading Horizons, although I was looking forward to it greatly. I did not know that there were posters. Is there a possibility for me, this is Janet,
Yeah. Hi, Janet.
get the posters?
We'll see if we can kind of copy them over. I might have one or two left. I think that's a great request. I'm going to write it down.
I'm
and
very good
see
at making great requests.
There are also bookmarks.
We
that
did
I
create the
keep track.
bookmarks. Yeah, and I'm going to send those out to you guys. Everyone who's here today will get a set of bookmarks for your students, and we'll talk about those.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
And is that workshop going to be offered again soon?
We'll see if we can do it next year again, or maybe in the summer.
Okay.
What we're going to share today is kind of a combination of what we learned from them and some the way we're trying to make it practical and realistic for our classes. Because most of our ESL classes we don't really have true literacy classes, right? Most of you have like 1 to maybe 5 literacy students max. Does that seem about right, you guys? Speak to me with your show me something. Like, is that true? Is it false? Does anybody have an all literacy students classroom? If you guys can focus this way and just kind of let me know, I feel like we're kind of scattered here. Go ahead, Yamlet.
So I don't have a literacy classroom, but some of the students that come in with level 1s have never been to school. So, but my program does not have literacy. So I have to supplement the material. It's great that the FSI class does have basic and low. So for those students, I'm using that.
For Ventures, you're talking about the textbook?
Yes.
Yeah.
And also Burlington English has the basic.
Uh-huh.
So
Yeah.
I'm using that as well as
I use
my
that.
own created stuff.
So our goal really is implementation. What you're getting here, we hope, is more than a DSTR in your paycheck. We really want to give you strategies that you can use with your students that help them. Like, so what is going to be your favorite thing today that you can take back into your class on Monday? And with that, I'm going to turn it back over to Irene and tell why we decided to kind of go this way. Go ahead, Irene.
Okay. So what works for both literacy and ESL 1 is the phonemic awareness that it provides, the annotations that students can make with the vowels, and the posters that hopefully eventually you will get them. What I found out that doesn't work for me with Horizons is that it's designed basically for classes where all of the students are literacy students. And as we just heard, so far nobody has 100% literacy students in their classes. It's a slow and sequence, but it's not aligned with the course outlines. And that was a concern because we only have 2 hours and we have a lot of things to do, the CASAs, the yield civics. So there's very little time, and most of the time it requires more than 30 minutes a day, and we don't have that luxury at this point. So that's one of the reasons why I'm not using it at this point. Any comments, questions? Okay.
I have a comment here. Here's my comment. I like that fact that 98% of phonics is spelling rules and oh God, sorry, it's so noisy here. Anyway, I like that fact. So I'd like to know how we can implement that a little bit at a time.
Yeah.
And
You know,
we're going to do today, we're going to show you with a couple of videos of what I am doing in my classroom and how you can include some of the other things that I have gathered from my experience teaching literacy and beginning low students. So we're going to go to a breakout room for about 15 minutes. There'll be 2 persons per room. And you're going to have a teacher video and a student video. And these are resources that I have used in my classroom. Why is there a difference? The teacher video is for you to watch by yourself to find out what you could use in your classroom and what you might not use. What I like that video is that the instructor tells us exactly what we should not be doing when we help the students with the lesson. And the student video, I like it because the students are able to focus basically on the movement of the mouth and the sounds instead of getting distracted by me moving back and forth, the students coming in and out of the classroom. So that helps the students focus on just the mouth and what movements we make when we make the sounds. So that's the reason why I chose that. Dave, do you want to put them in the chat, please?
Sure. I'm going to go ahead and change screens real quick and get that information. So just to kind of repeat in a new way what Irene said, there are 2 videos. The first one is for teachers. This is for us to get learning so that we improve what we do when we're in front of students. The other one is something that can be shared with students. I highly recommend it for your classroom, but also for in Schoology or to share the link with students so that when they're on the bus, they're standing in line, they're waiting at the doctor's office, they can put some things in their ears and just listen. They have more practice on their own when they're just hanging out. So I'm going to do a share of in the chat of these links. And what you're going to do when you get to your breakout room is you can see that the first video is 5.5 minutes. You're not going to want to watch all of it. I'm going to encourage you to go at about 1 minute 30 seconds and then continue for another minute or so. I want you to the goal is to change the way we share letter sounds. What you're going to hear from the teacher is that frequently when we give the consonants, we say b or k. And what we're doing is adding a vowel sound, and that's not going to help students when they try and connect those sounds together. Then they're going to go versus cat, right? So she's modeling it, and what you're going to do is after you kind of see her example, in your breakout room, just go back and forth with your partner and continue the alphabet for about 5, 6 more letters and practice really clean pronunciation so that we do it in the classroom. Because when we add a schwa, when we add a vowel sound to the consonant, it's going to confuse students when they try and decode words. Okay, we all do it. So there's a chance for us to kind of practice and clean up our act. And then you're going to have access to the student video and just start the first 2 or so minutes and see and talk about the questions on the screen. What do you see? And what would you use or not? How would you use this with your students to help them to see and hear the sounds of the letters? Okay, does everyone understand what the goal is? 2 videos, one that we are going to use for our learning to help us with our phonics and the way we say words. And the second is for students, what would they do with it? Okay, so I'm going to put these in the chat and then I'm going to put you guys in breakout rooms. So you need to click on both of the links. If you're in a car, good luck. I'm really encouraging you guys next year. I don't know if we're going to be able to pay DSTR if people are driving because it just doesn't work, right? So good luck today. I'm going to give you both the links. There's the first one and the second. And then I'm going to put you in breakout rooms. Is there anyone besides Kurt who is not able to participate? I want to make sure that there's an extra person in Kurt's room because I don't want him to get in a car crash. All right, so everyone else is free to do it. Let me go ahead and make this work for us. Click on the links. I'm going to make sure that Kurt is with someone where he doesn't have to get in a car crash. Let's see. I don't see him. Okay, I'm gonna create the breakout rooms and I want you to follow the directions and see what you can get from these videos. Here we go. Kurt, I see that you're not in a breakout room and do you want to be put in one? I guess I can put you in one. You can just listen, okay? Let me just put you in one you can listen. Okay, you're probably wondering why you're back in the main room.
We got closed out now.
I realized that I was setting you up for frustration because most of you might not have shared screen in a while and you didn't have the sound on. Is that true? Or were you doing just fine on your own?
No, we didn't have video, Dave,
Right.
in my room.
That's the thing. A lot of us haven't Zoomed in a while and you have to click on the share sound. So what I thought I would do is have us do this together because we're a small group anyway.
That's a good idea.
I just felt like you guys were going to be like, well, how do I do this? And that's no fun. So let us do it this way. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and do the first video. If that's okay with you, Irene. I know you had.
Go ahead, please.
Can you hear it?
No, nothing yet.
Okay.
We cannot hear it or see it.
Just
well, we hear you, Dave.
Yeah, right. Too much of this one. All right, just a sec. Okay. Can you see the woman on the screen?
Yes.
Great. Let's start her a little bit later in the video.
A facilitator at the Rollins Center for Language and Literacy. You probably already know the English language has very distinct sounds, or phonemes, that we combine in different ways to make words. In this video, we are going to demonstrate how to pronounce each of the individual phonemes. Often, we accidentally add an extra or schwa sound to the end of consonants. If students hear this and imitate it, it may then be reflected in later reading and writing tasks. To prevent this, it is important to produce only the phoneme itself without any additional sounds. An example of this is the sound p. Sometimes when teachers are trying to emphasize or isolate a phoneme, they say p. Instead, focus on producing just the phoneme itself. P. We'll start with the consonant phonemes. You'll see the associated letter or letter combination, also known as a grapheme, on the screen as I say the sound. Ready? Here we go. B as in banana. D as in dinosaur. F as in fish. G as in guitar. H as in hand.
Okay, so you get the idea. I thought it would be more helpful, instead of just watching her not schwa, for us to actually practice it, because that's what we need to do when we're in the classroom, right, Irene?
Yeah.
We're starting with letter H. I is a vowel, so we're not going to practice that. I'm going to call on someone, and then you're just going to do the next consonant correctly pronounced without a schwa, and then you're going to call on someone else. So for example, I'm going to say, Dr. James, can you do J? So go ahead and say the letter and then the sound, the phoneme, yeah?
J. J.
Okay, great. Call on someone else.
Yolanda.
K. Kite.
No, just the sound of the letter, just the phoneme. Instead of a word, K as in k. And you can add a word if you want. That's cool addition. Go ahead.
Okay. Annie.
Still muted.
Okay. Yeah. N. Oh no, we're going alphabetical order,
Yeah,
right?
so if you can do L.
L. L.
What's
L.
Is it la or oo?
Ooh.
It's
Is
ooh.
it?
So the
Oh, it's
is the
ooh.
schwa. Yeah, so it's not la, it's ooh, like love. Because not if with the word is late, we're gonna have students saying la ate, la ate.
It was an interesting video, Dave.
Yeah, keep going. Oh, so you're saying shut up, Dave. Okay, let's have
No.
Andy
I
call the
would have
next one.
wanted to watch the whole video. It was interesting.
Really?
Yeah. I was
Okay, you
doing it
can.
at the same time.
Okay.
Okay, Riga.
Okay, here I am. I'm getting my hair highlighted. I'm in my car. Okay, M. This is the one I wanted. M.
Got it.
Pass.
Is that right?
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
not ma, it's
But is it or is it Is it or is it
Ah, what are you hearing, Janet? Go ahead and tell us what you're hearing.
I'm hearing so I hear a little bit of a sound before, it's like a glottal stop before the M, and then
Good.
in decoding that would still get a child or a non-English speaker thinking that the M says so in mother it would be a mother.
Right. So say it again. What's correct? Versus. You guys hear the difference?
Yeah.
Yes.
And
If
versus
you can hear a vowel
ma.
before or after, it's no good. Great, Janet. Why don't you call on the next or do the next one yourself?
N. Like no.
Ooh, a great word choice. Please pass. Pass to the next.
Yolanda. No, Yolanda, did you already go?
He did.
Oh, sorry.
He did.
Yamilet. Oh.
Nope, that's a vowel.
Oh, it's a
so let's
vowel.
skip it.
No, but
P.
you do the sound, you do the short sound. Ah, ah.
Okay, what's next?
Get, what did I?
P, for Gary or Ed
Ed,
or
yeah.
Kurt.
P or pay. P.
So what is the sound without the schwa?
Mhm.
P.
Nope, try again.
Mm.
There's no sound when you do it. It's just,
Mm.
get the difference? It's
There-
not pa-a. I don't want you to pa-a me. I want you to pay me.
Hey. So
Great.
silent, like soft.
That's it. Now you guys maybe thought this was goofy when we started. Now we're seeing the reason, right?
But it's not silent. You have to push air out, and when it's a plosive, when your lips explode, something does come out.
Yeah, something comes out, but it's not a big loud sound.
It's not
voice.
right.
So try it again, Ed. What do you this gonna be?
I don't know if you can hear me. Like a push.
Yep, that sounds great. You call on the next person. Let's do a few more so everybody gets a chance.
Let's do Gary, go ahead.
Q? I don't know. Is that a schwa with a QU? Is that one sound? Yeah, I'm going to try it. Cool.
Okay,
Quick,
good job, Gary. It's actually,
quick.
that one's got two sounds, doesn't it, Dr. James?
Yeah.
It's k and w. Qu, like quack, right?
Yeah.
Great, good job, Gary. Pass it to the next person.
Okay, next letter, passing to Lorena.
R.
Nice,
R.
nice, nice. Pass,
Rabbit.
good job, Lorena. Pass to someone else. We got someone waiting for us.
Nairobi.
So S.
Good. All right. I think we got everybody. I know Kurt's driving and I don't want to put him through that. So the name of the game is to keep it simple and clean, right, you guys? So beautiful work. Irene, did you have any comments else about that?
No, I'm glad that Yolanda wants to see the whole thing and you'll have access to it. So definitely if you want to. But it's a good review. So I would recommend that you try to see it eventually.
Awesome. So thank you, Yolanda, for your passion about that and your interest. And I know other people want to take another look. That was for us as teachers. Now what we're really going to just take a few minutes on is to look at what's helpful for students, either in our class altogether or on their own. I'm going to click on it and make sure that I share it. Just a sec. All right.
Welcome to Email Groupie ESL Education. Today we're going to go over the alphabet, vowels, consonants, and then you're going to get the letter sounds for each of the letters of the alphabet. Okay, let's begin. A, B, C, D, E, F, G.
Okay, I'm going to move us on a little further. You can see what comes next.
Okay, so now let's learn our vowels. A, E, I, O, U, sometimes Y.
All right. So I'm not going to say a whole lot about this. I'm going to put the screen back on and get you guys to kind of give some responses to the questions that were on the screen before. Let me go ahead and get my,
Share.
oh, you got it, Irene? Do you want to share the,
Yes, give me a second.
all right.
Oh, where did I go?
It's okay, I got it. I'll share it. Oh, you got it?
Yeah.
Go for it.
So the question is, what did you see and what would you use or not use? And we cut the student video a little bit shorter because the next section, they actually show you the person's mouth only, just like we saw the teacher showing that. But it's just focusing on the mouth exactly at the time that the person makes the sound. Go ahead. Anybody has comments?
Let's see if we can get 10 different comments in the chat because we've got 10 people. And if you don't want to type, you want to talk, just unmute. Go for it.
No?
Oh, go ahead. I actually like them. They're cute. The one for teacher and then the other one is Q2 for the students. I have something similar to that, but just the sound, I didn't see the whole video, so I don't know what it looks like, but I do like it that it's slow.
Yeah.
Mm.
And what I like it is that it says we are going to learn the names and the sounds, and the students are like, what are you talking about? I never heard such a thing. So it's an introduction to help you do your lesson. So I really like it. Anybody else?
This is Janet. I really like the alphabet. I do the vowels differently on my hand, and I have a graphic for that. But the alphabet, I really like the fact that they can hear a different voice saying it. And I'm eager to see the mouth shapes.
Yeah. And that was one thing that Dave and I discussed. Why should we have a video for a class? Because the students eventually get tired of listening to us say the same thing over and over again. So it's just a fresh way of introducing what you're actually teaching. Any other comment, question?
Yeah, it's
Oh, sorry.
videos are very helpful, especially for online learners too, because you know sometimes your own audio messes with you, and you know if in your own time they can replay the video, rewatch it. Very very useful, and it's handy too, because I noticed a lot of the students as well, they keep taking pictures or videos of the lessons on their own phones, but if you just give them the link to the video, they have a better audio quality. They can repeat it at their own convenience, and you know that eliminates the part where, because some of them might be shy in the classroom, like I don't want to yell out that I'm messing up the pronunciation. But I could do it alone, you know, where I'm at home, or you know, in the car. So that really helps, having a visual and the right audio sound obviously is a key here. So it's good. It's good.
Thank you for your comments, everybody.
Yeah.
Dave, do you have anything else to add before we move on?
No, I just really love what you said, Ed, that it's not just, like Rika said, there's so much to do in the classroom. We can't spend that much time with this, but our students may need it. So if we can make this available to them, we can maybe turn this into a QR code. They can just zap it, or, you know, put it in Schoology. Even if you're not using Schoology a lot, if you can just have a resource place in a group, that's wonderful.
Yeah.
Thanks, Ed. Let's keep moving.
Thank you. So what we just said is the students need to be able to hear different sounds before they can connect them to read letters and words. The students need to be able to hear the different sounds. They need practice, which shows us if they can identify them. And this is Dave. Go ahead.
Well, I'm just responding to Ed. Yeah, Ed just said that using Remind to share links with students is a really great idea. I know a lot of us learned that during COVID. It still works. Okay, so what you're seeing on the screen is you're seeing a T chart. On one side of the T chart is the short A. And you can have students, when they hear it, you say, ah, and then put up one hand. Or if you want to give them even a more realistic way, I gotta have to stand up, have them do the symbol with a cupped hand. That is the symbol over the A that we know it's an ah, right? Good job, Ed. I love how you went and actually learned it by doing it. God bless you.
Listen, I
Then the
have a
other,
question here. I
yeah,
have a question. Okay, and answer. Okay,
okay.
so we're teaching in the short A, but then there's all these other crazy
I
things
put
in
that
English.
for, yeah, I put that for if you have a mixed level class, you wouldn't give that to if they were all literacy. But as Irene has said before, even with multi-level classes, students don't know the reasons why. So yeah, if you're right, Riga. This might be confusing. So
No, no,
take
no,
that
no,
off.
no. It's not confusing. No, I'm just wondering. This is what they also need to know. You know, they don't
Yeah,
know
but
how to
we're getting,
pronounce.
yeah.
Okay,
Let's come back to that because I think we're
all
going
right.
to lose the flow here if we kind of go off on
Sorry.
these other languages. No, it's a real question, but let's just kind of come back to it. So, so students can, when they hear it, they can either say one for short and two fingers for long, A, or you can have them actually do the symbol that they see with the letter. It depends on your students. You might start with one and then get more complex or sophisticated. The point is, you really want to move, if you click, Irene, to the next piece, you really want to have them show you what they're hearing. Whoops, go back. You really want to have them
Sorry.
show you what they're hearing. So if I say the word at, what do you hear, guys? One, wait, don't show that part. Go back. I don't want them to see the words. I want them to just practice the listening before you have to read. You have to
Sorry.
listen. That's okay. So what do
There.
you hear? You hear a or a. The word is at. What do you hear? Thank you. Let's see if everyone can do it. I want to know you're learning by showing me. This is what we want our students to do. That's what I want you to do. Thank you. Okay. How about this one? Cat. About name. About state. And then we can add some speed. We can give them the words like Irene showed you with the words on the board or on front, so they have a little scaffold. And then we want to get to the point where it's blank. And then we're going to say, okay, we've got some sounds. We know what they look like in some certain words. Let's go deeper. And I'm going to pass it back. Well, before we do this, are there any questions about this? I mean, some of you maybe are already doing this, right?
The way that I do it is I have the student, I ask for volunteers, first of all, and for them to come to the board and write the symbol.
Yep. Cool. If we want to go deeper with this next time in our next COP, you let us know in the sign-in sheet, okay, guys? That was pretty quick. Take it away, Irene.
Okay, so we want to show you another approach, phonics with topics, and that's what I have been doing. And I would like to share with you a lesson that I did with my students. And we'll just see it all together. Topics focuses learning and makes it more memorable over time. Topics follow course outline. They connect to routines for students to follow. Topics help with student persistence. Topics align with CASA's exams and EL Civics activities. Topics help organize our textbooks. I just attended a LERIC conference meeting yesterday, and the presenter did not have any topics, so it was difficult to follow as to what he was actually teaching. So it helps the students to definitely know what the lesson plan is all about.
So really quickly, just to jump in, we know that our course outline topics are personal information, social, cultural, health, work, family. Those are what we're talking about, right? So Irene's going to share a model lesson with one of these examples.
So what I am doing is doing personal information, and I am showing the long A sound with silent E. It's contextualized, with the words name, date, age, place, and state. And we're going to show you the 3 parts of a lesson: the presentation, the guided practice, and the communicative practice. As you watch, how do I use the visuals and repetition? What worked? What didn't work? What questions or additions would you have? What would you add or delete from the presentation? So hopefully we can hear it.
Can you check your share again?
Yeah.
Audio, please.
Yeah.
So let me.
When you click on your green share at the bottom and on the white message screen, the share video sound.
1 second.
I can also help with that if you like.
Please do,
Okay.
because I don't see it.
No worries. Let me go ahead and do it.
Thank you.
All right. Oops. So sorry, guys. I apologize. All right. Ready?
Yeah.
Ah.
Phonics and the silent E sound, and what happens when you have the silent E. By the end of this lesson, you will be able to identify words with the silent E, read and give dictation to your classmates using the words in unit.
Would you increase the volume, Dave?
No.
Yeah, it's pretty
I am
quiet.
trying.
We can't hear.
I'm trying to make it louder. Irene, maybe, I don't know what else I can do to make it louder. Maybe you can also share as you're teaching, kind of repeating kind of your words so people can actually hear them, because I'm not sure, I can't make it any louder on my end for some reason. I'm really, let me check one more thing.
Or was
here
it
we
me
go.
only?
Nope, I think there were
Okay.
other people. Let me maximize it a little bit more. And start again.
Textbook. So right now we're looking at unit number 1. Are you going to restart it?
I think, yeah, here we go.
Good afternoon. Doing the introduction, letting the students know what we're going to do. Phonics and the silent E sound, and what happens. The silent E sound. The silent E. By the end of this lesson, you will be able to identify words. By the end of the lesson, students will be able to identify the sound. Using the words in unit 1 of your textbook. So right now we're looking at unit and we're number 1. Looking at Ventures unit number 1. Let's review the vowel sounds. We're reviewing the vowel sounds only. How many vowels? 5. We have 5 vowels. Let's practice the name of the vowels. What is the name? A, E, I, O, U. Those are the names. And the names right now are the ones that we're going to use with the silent E, and we're only going to be looking at the letter A. The letter A, that's the only one. We're only doing one sound, the letter A. Too much information. When you have words pronunciation. And what happens is that it makes the letter A say its name. I'm explaining the rule. At what is called the long A, and you put a line over the letter to make it look like a long sound A. And how they're going to mark it or annotate it. That end with, what letter is this? E. So all of them have E, E, E. So what happens when you have an E at the end, it makes the vowel or say its name. What is the name of this letter? A. So listen. Name. A. Name. Please repeat. Name. Let's practice. Aim. Name. So this one is silent. So it's silent. We have another word. What letter is this? S. But now we're going to say the sound. The sound. This one. Bye bye. And this one A. State. 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 Not A. No. Close your mouth. State. State. So that E is silent. The same thing happens here with this one. The E is silent and it makes the letter A say its name. What's the letter name? A. So this is place. Place. Now we have a short word with only 3 letters, but it's the same idea. This is going to be A. You're right. Thank you, Catalina. This one is A. H. H. So I have to say bye-bye to the letter E. It's silent. Excuse me. The last one that we have, the same idea. You have an E. It's going to make this letter say its name. What its name? A. So this is date. Date. So all of these letters that I covered them because they are silent, no pronunciation. Any questions? Excuse me, no questions? No. Okay. So now I'm going to show you some words and you tell me where I'm going to put them. For Anna, is Anna a name, a state, a place, age, or date? Anna. Name. Anna is a name. Name. So I'm going to write here Anna. Bell.
Okay. So, what did you notice or what did you wonder about? Let's hear from you. We had a great model, but maybe you have some questions or maybe things that you want to call out.
So what was the pacing like, Dr. James? Like, how was that the actual pace of when you were delivering that, or you had to pause a few minutes here and there to?
No, that was the actual
All right.
lesson. and one of my students was recording for me. So no, we didn't rehearse it at all. It was done as I usually do. I was a little nervous, I have to confess, because the camera was in front of me. And the students, I asked them previously, this is what we're going to do. This is a project. I'm working with other teachers, and they were willing to be on camera. So no, it wasn't rehearsed at all.
That's great. I like the pacing because yeah, I mean that it that's the thing with that kind of lesson. It takes time, you know. So was that your Saturday class or no? That wasn't, right?
No, that's my evening class.
Oh, nice. Okay, great. Thank you. All right.
Thank you. Any other comment or question? I'm sorry about
really like
sound.
how you did that. Thank you so much for modeling that, Dr. James. It was really lovely to see.
My pleasure. Thank you. Any other comments?
Not to go off topic, Dr. James, my son tries to learn that the long A, silent E, just like the word fade. He watches subtitles, and then sometimes at the end of the movie or it will say music fades. He will say music fades. So I try to teach him that A, and then the silent E. So
yes,
that will relate. Yeah, my son.
It relates, and it's exactly what happens to my students when we do the lessons, what you just said. My child is saying this, and I'm hearing this here in class, so now it makes sense what we're doing. So thank you. Thank you so much for sharing that. Anybody else? Okay, we can move on to the next video.
I have a question for the group, and I want you to type in the chat. Don't be shy. What did you notice about all the words that Dr. James had on the board for the students to practice? What was common about them? What was common about the words?
And only answer in the chat?
Please only answer in the chat, and let's let everyone. If you wait a moment, we can have some people talk out loud if we get other people a chance to participate first. Okay, so there's the phonics piece, definitely, that Kurt called out. They had the long A, silent E. Thank you. Okay. All right. So you guys are calling out that there was one phonics rule. She was only doing one phonics rule. What else? What else? What did all the words have in common outside of using one phonics rule? Good. I see a couple great answers. We got Janet and Nairobi. They're all information words, and exactly what course outline topic or textbook topic are they all about? What kind of information words?
Can I cheat and tell them?
Go ahead.
Personal information.
So personal information, who teaches ESL 1, 2, 3, or 4? Okay, so we have these in our work. So because students are learning these and we're talking about this topic every day, we're choosing words that come from that. And Irene and I had to work hard to find words that were from that topic, not outside the topic. Students in literacy in ESL 1, they want to learn the words that they're using all the time, not random made up words that are outside the topic. So we find the words that use that phonics rule for that topic. That's really critical. That's what this is all about. Okay. So I'm gonna go share the screen again. And slides. Okay, so what did anything else you noticed about the teacher's visuals and the repetition? What did you notice that, was good about what she did? Whoops, sorry. What did she do to improve whoops, sorry guys, to improve the presentation? Good, the paper.
We're getting black blocks on the
Yeah.
screen.
The print.
Super large print, super clear, visual sorting. I love that, Janet. She sorted things. She had different colors. She used the Post-its to show that they're no longer visible. Great. Okay, that's what we have to do. Very legible. And use those Post-its. Use other things that work that way. Beautiful. Okay, and it was nice and slow and clear, and her language was very precise. So Irene created some other topics as well. I mean, not topics. She stayed with the personal information topic. She stayed with the same phonics, but then she created some guided practice activities for the students. And here's what they are: flashcard games, dictation, and some letter and word posters and handouts. So we're going to look at some more videos, and you're going to see how the students get practice with and without her. So let's try it out.
Dave, there is a black block
Oops. Let me,
on the screen.
yeah, because, okay, let's try it now. Here we go.
Silent E.
Oh, you know what I wanted to do, you guys? I wanted to share with you what she's actually showing the students, because you need to know that. What is she sharing with the students? Okay, so the first one is going to be word picture connections. The second is going to be reciting and writing words with pictures. And the other one is partner dictation. And so she's using these handouts. Let me go ahead and show you the next screen even larger. These are the handouts, very simple. You could even get these from your textbook, the pictures. Okay. All right, so that's what the students are looking at. Let's go back to the videos. Here's the first practice, whoops, first practice video. Let me stop sharing. I'm having issues with my Zoom, guys.
You want me to share?
Yeah, if you can share the videos, that'd be great.
Okay, give me a second, please. Okay, 1 second. I think both of us are having trouble with this.
Okay, I've got it now.
Oh, you got it? Okay.
I believe I've got it. All right, let me share. See if this works better. You guys, thank you for your patience with the technology with us today. Okay, let's try it out. Can you see it?
Yeah.
Let's make sure everything's good to go.
Jasmine and Ingrid, we are going to practice the silent E. Jasmine is going to say the word. What word is this, Jasmine? Place. So you say place to Ingrid, and Ingrid is going to match the picture with the word that you say. Number 2, what is the word, Ingrid? Name. So you match the word name with the picture, and you do one and you change. Okay? Any questions? Okay. Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, there's one. Let's look at the next one. Make sure you can see it. And here we go.
Okay, so let's have you, Marco, and Emilia work on a different practice exercise. So what Marco is going to do, he's going to write the correct word looking at the picture. So you have a box with the words, state, name, place, age, date. So now you read. You read.
State, name, place, age,
Good. Okay, so this word goes here. Now, for your exercise, I gave you the beginning here, the middle, some of the letters for the same vocabulary. So you have to fill in the form. When you finish, you change papers and you check. Okay, any questions? No questions.
Okay, one more.
Okay, so for Maribel and Carolina, we're going to do dictation. Okay, so here is your card for dictation. Here is your card for dictation. And you're going to dictate 1, 2 words to your classmate. And then you dictate 1, 2 words to your classmate, and then you check each other. Okay? And then you change cards. Okay?
All right. So let's have you guys give some feedback, some thoughts about that. Do you have questions about what happened, about the materials, about anything? I want you to be thinking about how you can do this in your class. What is realistic? What is simple? What is challenging?
For me, the pacing, I think, is going to be the challenge because most of our classes are 2-hour classes. So I think, yeah, a few, it is going to be either at the intro or at the end, but I'm thinking intro of the lesson, the beginning of class time. That's where I can do it. Because, yeah, again, we only have 2-hour classes at our school.
Yep.
So that's my concern. But if I pace it maybe for the whole week, I think it can work out. Yeah.
You know, I totally hear you on that. For me, what I like about this approach is that it's teachable moment time.
Yes.
So when we're doing the vocabulary or when we're doing conversations, we can just say, we can take a moment and say, what do these words have? Oh, they all have an E at the end. But what's the sound in the middle? Oh, they all say A. And I loved it because my name is Dave Coleman. So I have 2 silent E words in my name. And so I worked that, but you just throw it in. It doesn't have to be a long lesson, like as
That's
Irene
it.
will share with you, right? You have to know
Yes.
your students. Other thoughts? Thanks, Ed.
Thank you.
What would work for your class?
Like Ed said, this is Jamila. I think that maybe like a sponge activity, maybe you can even use the same textbook and look at the spelling pattern because it looks like her stuff is teacher generated. And I know those take a long time because I create my own tests and stuff. So, but you can use, the books that were given to use the activity.
Could you have students look at a page and circle all the words with the silent E and then check with a partner? What I love what Irene did was she modeled and showed them, and then she walked away and they practiced independently. More student, less teacher.
Oh, I love
really
that
helps.
idea. Circle the words in the textbook and have them practice by themselves. That's a great idea.
So you guys, it's just a matter of being creative. I don't have time for this. I know students need it. How can I do it in a way that's easy for me and beneficial for them? What do I already have? You know, it doesn't take more than 3 minutes to make a word list on the side of your board of the keywords. And we're going to give you those keywords.
Yeah.
In just a minute. Other thoughts?
You don't have to create your own things like I did. Just like they gave you the idea. I use highlighters. I tell the students, please bring different color highlighters. Let's use yellow for the silent E. Let's use blue for the long A. So you don't have to create what I did.
I think what would work for me in terms of that is just having it written on the board and save it there so they can at least see it every day.
Yeah.
Come in the room, they're like, all right, let's review the words. And
Yes.
the first 5 minutes, first 10 minutes of class, it helps.
2 minutes.
Yeah.
Like I love what you said, Ed. This is not something we're telling you to overhaul your curriculum. This is just a 1 or 2 minute thing that you do every day. So students go, oh, I know why this is pronounced this way. Why it's not fade, right?
Yeah.
Or fades.
Yeah. It's good.
Okay. Any other comments? This is great stuff.
Or exit ticket. You can use it as an exit ticket.
Love it.
Yes. I just wanted to remind you, Dave gave me some reading about phonics, and perfect practice does make perfect. And what the article suggests is that repetition helps the students to improve themselves. And I just want to share with you this number that I got from them, that students who are struggling need between 14 and 40 repetitions. And that's probably what I would like to do next, to remind myself, more repetition, more repetition. Sometimes we ourselves think, oh, do the students want to hear me again? But when I've asked them, they're like, yes, we want to do it again. Let's do it again. And providing feedback immediately, that helps. When they check each other's work, or I walk around and check their work really fast, the immediate feedback makes a big difference.
Right on. Okay. So why don't we, let me just check this. I think we're going to take a break in just a moment. But I just want to make sure that we're good here. Okay, so the last piece of this, go ahead, Irene, and if you would just share about the last part of this that we're not going to really go into. You guys probably have this in your books already, but go ahead, Irene.
Okay, so the last thing you want to do is to do the community practice using words with authentic speaking and writing, dictation, spelling, teacher to students or student to student, conversation practice with the new words. And that was one thing that I found that Horizons didn't help me with, because they were just doing words that just came out of nowhere. Whereas here, students see them in their textbooks, see them in the workbook, and see them every single day when we do speaking practice. So that's why we're going towards teaching phonics with topics.
Right on. Okay. We were going to go ahead and explore a little bit, but let's do that after having a short break. I know you guys are working at the end of the term, a lot of CASAS, a lot of EL Civics, a lot of promo tests. It's been really heavy duty. So I'm sending you a lot of good vibes. I know that it's an intense time. So we really appreciate your joining us today. We weren't sure how many would be able to come. And so we're pretty happy that all you guys made time amidst your tiredness to be here. So I think we'll wait a little bit more time, and then I'm going to set up the slides in the background. Okay, Irene?
Okay, thank you.
All right. Okay, so let's do this. We are talking about another approach. Reading Horizons was very, very incremental and not as exactly as adult student oriented. This is phonics with topics, and we want to give you a chance to explore some of the work we've done to support your work to do this. We want you to look at the topics and the phonics that are part of our course outline, and many of you see these directly as a part of your textbook if you're using Ventures. And even if you're not, these are topics that are in every textbook. So what we see on the screen here on the right is the document that we're going to ask you to explore. There are 10 contextualized phonics units with sample words and phonics rules. And we're going to, in just a minute, give you the link, and we're going to ask you to explore in your breakout rooms. Irene already gave you an example. We're going to talk about at least one or two more, and then we're going to have you look at how you can answer the questions for what you look at. So what is the topic for the for that section? What is the phonics component? Is there a certain letter or sound or rule? What are the sample words that are from that topic that are being used to practice the phonics? And then how might you consider presenting the words, giving students guided practice or communicative practice? So let me see if I can go ahead and share again. And Irene and I will take a moment to kind of walk through this with you and then give you some more time in breakout rooms. Let me make this bigger. So Irene and I looked at font ventures because it was the most used book. It's used by 7 out of our 11 schools. But also, again, these are topics that we see in the course outline: personal information, school, friends and family, health, around town, transportation, daily activities and time, and shopping, work, and daily living and free time. Actually, there's 11 units. I wanted to call your attention to the welcome. We're not doing any real phonics rules aside from phonemic awareness and the basic symbols, the letter names, okay? Maybe contrasting the consonants with the vowels, and then spelling students' names, as well as using numbers for various usages, right? So what you can see in the next part is the personal information. This is what Irene modeled. So each of these subsections, each of these topics or units has what's new and something to review. So what's new is the letter A, short versus long with silent E. And then you can see the topical words here. These are taken from the book and from our experience with words that match the rules for this topic. So you can see some of these, and you might want to be careful. I think it was Riga brought up a good question. Why do we have answer there? Well, it's a very common word, so that we might want to focus on it. But if it seems like it might confuse your students, don't do it. Then we also added some irregular, high frequency words that do not follow the rules. These are your sight words that might confuse students. So we just want to say, we use the word have a lot in ESL 1, right? And in English. And you're going to say, well, shouldn't that behave? Yeah, if we're following the rule, it should behave, but we're not. We need to let students know that. Okay. And another really great cue is long sounds. Letters say their names. Okay. When we have a long sound, it's the letter saying its name. And then the review is just that. Okay, so Irene practiced that and showed us that. What we'd like to do is give you time to look at one or two. You might want to choose something from the beginning because you might be thinking about next term already, or just choose something that looks interesting to you and answer the questions. Let me go back to that screen. Let me make sure you can still see it. Yep.
Yeah.
So the questions are topic, phonics, sample words, and then how might you work with this in your class with your students. Okay, so just a reminder, we're going to have more practice next time in April, practice teaching each other, but right now we just kind of want to get you used to this. So let me get this link and put it in the chat, and then we're going to put you in breakout rooms. Let me stop sharing. All right, so here is the link. Phonics by topic. Okay. And then I'm going to create breakout rooms. And I just want you to work with the people in your room. Just introduce yourself quickly and then get into it. Share some time looking at it. Actually, you know what I want you to do is I'm going to give you 5 minutes, if that's okay with you, Dr. James, just to have them look at it independently. And then when you get in your breakout room, you'll kind of have a grounding, right? So go ahead and mute if you want, if you're not already muted. Just take some time to look at it and then get together. I'm going to create some breakout rooms. Let's just keep the same breakout rooms we had.
Me too.
All right, we're back. I hope that was a productive, enlightening time that gave you some ideas. I'm going to go and share my screen and then kind of ask you guys your thoughts. So we looked at various topics and connective phonics so that they make sense to our students. Was there a particular unit that your small group looked at that you thought, oh, this makes sense, or that you had questions about in terms of what was there on the screen, or do you think we could change this document to make it better? What are your thoughts? Feel free to unmute and share with us.
We didn't come up with any way to improve it. We just looked at what was useful for our levels and
Right.
what we thought we could review in the short amount of time we have at Evans with 2-hour classes.
Yeah.
But like for example, I did like short and longer sounds of words, you know, like short eyes, like hit versus heat. And
Yeah.
you know, a lot of my level 3B students have pronunciation or phonics issues with, you know, words that sound so similar, but they're so different once you get very specific.
Right on. Yeah. And if you hear it differently and say it, then you might spell it incorrectly and not be able to read it too. That's a great point, Gary.
Yeah. That was our little.
Thanks for sharing.
Okay.
That's great.
Thank you.
Any other thoughts about how you would teach perhaps what you saw? How could this be doable in short little bite-sized pieces through your classes?
Well, this is what I shared, and it wasn't my idea, it was yours. It was yours and Ed's idea, but I am going to take that and go with it. I like going through the book and highlighting the words. It's right there. You don't have to make anything. They got it. And
I think you're breaking up a little, Riga, but we got you. Yeah, keep going.
yeah, making a vocabulary list
Yes.
on the board and going over that, you know, for the whole week. And then they get pronunciation and vocabulary and phonics with, and I really like that idea. And that's what I'm going to do.
Right on. I love your attitude. I love how you're trying to make it really workable and tie in with stuff that makes sense. And great. Irene, did you have any comments?
I just like the idea that that Kurt shared with Riga and myself, that he keeps the words on the board the whole week. He doesn't erase them. And just having the visuals makes a big difference. They're seeing the words every day, and this goes back to the Renaissance article of having up to 40 repetitions of the words. So I really like that idea of keeping the words on the board the whole week.
Yeah, just have it there. It helps. And if you guys have like access, if your projectors, what worked for me as well is I basically go on Google and then I just put the word, and then at the end of each word, for example, the word awesome. So I put awesome pronunciation, and then it'll show up. There's a mouth there, a pronunciation guide. You could slow it down. It's actually, yeah. I mean, something quick. You know, if your voice is not feeling up to par that day, like, okay, here's how it's pronounced, and yeah. So just write on Google, just put the word and then the word pronunciation, and you'll see it there. There's a voice there. You could slow it down. Yeah, it's really instant, you know. So that helps as
So
well.
you're
For
saying,
me.
Ed, so you're saying if you just go to Google search and put the word that you want people.
Plus the word pronunciation. Yeah, go ahead
okay.
and try it, and you'll see. You can share it
Yeah.
right now.
Right on. That's what I was going to say, if we wanted to try it right now, and I see what you're saying, Janet. We'll come back to that in a moment. But like if you are in here, let me just share this slide,
Yeah.
and then let me escape out of that and go to a blank page. And
Yeah,
just
blank
so the
page.
word is like, let's say the word book, and then pronunciation or what?
Book. Yeah, book. Are you on Google Chrome? Yeah, book pronunciation. Yeah.
Okay.
And there you go.
Okay.
There's the mouth. And there it is. You can slow it down. You see that slider right there? Just slow it down. And yeah. And there it is.
And probably you could make this bigger if you went to the website, right?
Yeah, just Control plus. Control plus. And
oh, let's go back.
Yeah,
Oops.
just hit Control plus. If you're on that screen. Control plus on your keyboard. Keep going. Yeah. And there you go.
Yeah, so it's nice and big for the students from the front of the room.
Yeah.
Control plus your magic movement here. So
so Yeah, if you've repeated it like 10 times and then a student coming in late, like, teacher, what was that word again? Oh man, here you go, here it is.
Yeah.
So
Just leave the tab up as you go back to your other stuff, right?
yeah, to make it bigger is Control plus, and make it
Yep.
smaller, Control minus.
Nice.
Go back to original setting is Control 0.
Cool.
It's a resource that the students have when we're not there to help them out. That's what I tell them. If on the weekend you get lost,
Yeah.
these are the resources you can use if I'm not there.
All right.
Yes, yes, yes.
So we saw a lot today, and I'd love for you, if you'd like, to annotate. Mark the things on the screen that, oh, let's go back. First of all, sorry, let me stop sharing because Janet had something she wanted to share about the ooh, the double O. There are different sounds for ooh, right? There's and ooh. So that's something that we need to look at possibly, or I need to look at in the document. So thanks for pointing that. I noticed that again today, Janet, and I'm like, oh, gulp. So good catch. All right. Any other comments about what you saw in that document or applications for implementing it? All right, so I'm going to ask you to engage your annotator and go ahead and mark with some kind of stamp, perhaps, the thing that you might want to apply. For example, I really like connecting phonics to topics. I heart that. So I'm going to try and do that because it makes sense for my students. What type or annotate the things that work for you or you think you might like to try. Because we can learn together what might work and what might not work. You guys know how to annotate, or do you want to just type in the chat? Up, the whole thing. All right. Okay, so you just want it all. I love that. Now let's let other people also be specific in your annotation. What it might not be if it's just one thing. Mhm. Great.
I think what Dave and I would like to emphasize is that you don't have to go out of your course outline to be doing phonics with the words, with the chapters. The words are already there. It's not like with Horizons that you're coming up with a bunch of words that the students don't recognize because they haven't seen them before. So it's not extra work at all for you. The words are already there.
Great. And especially with the communicative, it's the fact that our books don't necessarily do a very good job with the presenting and the guided practice that we are kind of giving you those extra ideas, but they're pretty good about the communicative because students are using the words, but we're helping them be able to read new words that have the same rules. So, you might want to dip down on, say, a Wednesday or Thursday after they've gotten the rule and just say, here's some words that are not in this topic that have the same thing. Can you try reading them to a partner? And then at the end, let's hear it and see how you did. Because the test for knowing the phonics rule is ultimately to read new words, right? So that's the ticket. And you want to just make sure, and maybe it's in the next topic. You say we're focusing on the letter O, short and long, but here's some words that have that long A sound with silent E. Can you read them to your partner without me? That's the goal, right? All right, good stuff. Nice. So guys are really getting some good ideas from each other. And from Irene, thank you so much. I really loved how you were able to activate your students in the guided practice and have them work together without you once they knew what to do. Great. Okay, lots of thumbs up. I'm going to clear the board here. And clear mind too. And we're going to finish up here, guys. Let's go to the next screen. Whoops, I'm still annotating, sorry. All right, so we kind of already talked about this, what worked and what did not work. If there's any final comments, feel free to share. Nope. Okay, let me go back real quickly. Our goal in this session, which we did not reach, but we want to do next time, is have you practice to talk and get a little bit more deeply into the weeds. How would you, like maybe from on a Monday through Friday or Monday through 2 Fridays, look at your topic, look at your unit for that amount of time, and how would you maybe have 2-minute little things sprinkled out every day or every other day? You know, like Riga said, you know, after we finish a couple pages, you know, maybe section A out of B, C, D, and F, let's take a highlighter, let's circle all those long A silent E words, right? What we want to give you more time next time to practice more deeply with this. All right. So take it away, Irene.
Well, our next COP is going to be on Friday, April the 25th. And we would like to know what you want to spend more time on. We kind of told you right now that we would like for you to practice teaching a lesson next time. Is that something else that you would like to do that we have not touched upon?
Yeah, is there anything off the top of your heads before you want to say in front of the group that you want to focus more on? Do you like the plan for next time to going a little bit more deeply with this? Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, I like it. Why not?
Okay. Well,
So next time
great.
would be like a share out of if we tried the strategies as
Both.
well, or is
Let's
that
do
fine?
both. Yeah. If you have
Yeah.
something, if you're inspired to try it, like so maybe Riga's going to try that book thing, and
Mm.
maybe you have something, Ed, that you're going to try. Bring it back. That's the best.
Okay.
That'd be
Right.
great. But also we're gonna, you know, we just kind of want to hear if there's anything particular that we didn't do or that you want to do more of. I'm gonna go ahead and hit enter on this chat, and we're gonna give you the sign-in sheet. And
I mean, I really think you guys covered so much already, and I think it's time for application at this point because I
preach,
mean,
brother.
yeah, so we'll go from there. Thanks.
Good. Try it out. Try it out. Come back and share. Feel free to fill in the sign-in sheet as soon as you can so that I can turn it in for compensation more quickly. Yamaleta, you still have your annotations on. That's why you're struggling there. Go ahead and stop your annotations, and then you can work on your form.
Sorry.
Because I know I do that too. It's like, why isn't it working?
Dave, will we get the links to the videos?
Yeah, why don't I send an email in response with the slide deck and the emails and the videos. The videos are embedded, but I also send you another document with them separate. And I also have the really great handouts that Dr. James made and her videos. So like I said, I'll put those in an email to thank you for coming and send them out to you.
And we may,
yeah.
I'm sorry, we may also include them. We do have a Schoology group.
Yes.
If you want to check it out, we might also put them in there as well.
Yeah, so we have both the literacy and the FSI Schoology groups. I'll put them in both of those, the resources.
Thank you.
Again, big thanks, big love to Irene for taking time to make those videos. They're really helpful, aren't they?
Yes. Yes.
Thank you.
I would love to make more videos of more teachers doing a lot of great strategies. So if there's a strategy that you feel like, wow, I would really like to create a video of what I do to share with other teachers, please email me, let me know, okay? I'll send more information about that if I get as I get a budget approved for next year. That would be next year. If there's nothing else, we really want to thank you again. Thank you, Irene, and thank you, teachers, for coming on a Friday afternoon. I always appreciate your efforts at the end of a long week. So
thank you, and good luck with the new trimester.
Thank you, everyone. Have a great weekend.
All right, you too. I'm gonna sign off. You guys have a good one.
Thank you.
Thank you
Bye
to
bye.
both of you.
You're welcome.
Thanks, Dave. Thanks, Doctor.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Thanks,
Thank
Irene.
you. Thank you, everybody.
Irene, I'm gonna go into another